Hello, Thrivers. There are specific signs that a narcissist still has you under their spell. These are hidden reasons and they're not often talked about. Rather than focusing on what the narcissist is doing, the question that we can ask is this: what is your unique hidden reason for still being under the narcissist spell? These hidden reasons, they're emotional, they're energetic, they're not logical, and they usually don't make sense. Yet they are the very basis of why you're still hooked. Understanding this is the key to relief, healing, and freedom. Today, I want to help you discover, understand, and release yourself from these hidden signs. But before I dive in, I want to thank you for being a part of our wonderful Thriver community and for wanting to say no to mere survival and instead empowering yourself to thrive after narcissistic abuse. If that is you, please write "thrive on" in the comments and declare it. And if you wish to join our community of 80,000 strong, write capital NL in the comments to receive free supportive content, stories of healing, and powerful Thriver tools. If you're watching this on YouTube, please don't write NL in the comments. Instead, refer to the link in the description to sign up to my newsletter. Okay, so let's examine the 7 signs that mean that you're still under a narcissist spell, because we need to define them to defeat them. And we're going to discuss how to take your sanity, your soul, and your power back and break free, because that's what thriving after abuse is about. It's not just mere survival. Let's start off with number 1, which is self-doubt and confusion. Narcissists often use gaslighting tactics, which causes you to question your reality and your judgment. This spell leads you to second guess your decisions, doubt your worth, and feel uncertain about being able to move forward without the narcissist's influence. Let's look at a real life example. You've been planning a weekend trip with friends for weeks and you're really excited about it. The narcissist, however, says to you, "Are you sure you should go? I thought you were trying to save money." Besides, those friends, they usually don't include you. Maybe you're only invited out of pity, and suddenly you start doubting everything. Am I irresponsible with my finances? Do my friends really like me, or are they just tolerating me? And you feel anxious and uncertain. You begin to believe that maybe you shouldn't go, and you're distrusting your own decisions and you're questioning your self-worth. Eventually, you cancel the trip because of all of this confusion. How to break this spell? The key to overcoming this manipulation is to cultivate self-determination and trust in your own judgment. Remind yourself your own choices are valid. Here's a really good affirmation: I trust my decisions and I know what's best for me. I'm capable of managing my finances and nurturing my relationships. If doubts are still there about your relationships, address it directly. Go to the people involved. Reach out to them rather than relying on the narcissist's insinuations. Express your excitement to your friends about the trip, reinforcing your connection with them, and you'll feel it. And that should dispel those unfounded doubts. Recognize when somebody is attempting to undermine your confidence and firmly reject that manipulation. So you can respond with, "Well, thank you for your concern, but I'm confident in my decisions for myself." Understand that the persistent self-doubt that we can have in narcissistic abuse can stem from childhood experiences where you weren't encouraged or allowed to be self-defined, and maybe you were controlled overtly or covertly by other people's opinions. So you can engage in inner work to nurture and empower your inner child. NARP, which is my Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Program, was incredibly effective for my own and many others' healings in regard to rebuilding self-trust and personal definition after our childhoods. And then you can develop a strong sense of self that isn't shaken by others' opinions or manipulations, which brings you to I define my reality and worth. Others' opinions are just that, they're opinions, and they don't dictate who I am or the choices that I make. So now, number 2, guilt and responsibility. Narcissists are experts at shifting blame and making you feel responsible for their behavior and the relationship failures. This spell manifests as this lingering guilt where you feel like you owe them something or you should do more. Here's a real life example. Imagine you're in a relationship with a narcissist who frequently criticizes you for not spending enough time with them. And one day, after a particularly stressful day at work, you come home exhausted and you need to relax. And the narcissist immediately starts complaining. You don't make time for me. If you really cared, you'd find a way to be more present. This is why our relationship is struggling, because you don't prioritize us. Even though you know you've been doing your best to balance work and your relationship, you start to feel guilty and you wonder if the relationship's issues are actually your fault. You're a good person, you feel a deep sense of responsibility to fix things, and you go out of your way to please the narcissist, which compromises your own needs, such as to relax, all in an effort to make up for what you believe is your failure. Yet, despite all of your efforts, the narcissist continues complaining, and it doesn't matter what you do or don't do, they keep complaining. But that reinforces your sense of inadequacy and guilt. How to break this spell? To break free from the spell of guilt and responsibility, it's essential to understand that the narcissist is shifting blame to avoid taking responsibility for their own behavior and for what they cause in the relationship. And realize this: their criticism is not a reflection of my value or effort, but a tactic to make me feel responsible for the problems. Set healthy boundaries, recognizing you're not solely responsible for the relationship's success or failure. Remind yourself that your needs and well-being are just as important as those of the narcissist. Affirm this: my worth isn't determined by somebody else's expectations or criticisms. I am allowed to prioritize my own needs and maintain a healthy balance in my life. Let go of the guilt that isn't yours to carry. You're not responsible for the narcissist's happiness or their behavior. And you can also engage in practices that reinforce your self-worth and help you detach from the guilt. NARP, the Quantum Freedom Healing Module 6, is specifically created to help you go free from this particular hidden spell, which is common for so many people in this community. Now, let's look at number 3, which is fear of the narcissist's reaction. The fear of the retaliation, smear campaign, or the narcissist's unpredictable behavior absolutely can keep you trapped in the relationship or the situation. This fear is going to create a spell, and it does, that holds you back from asserting your boundaries or completely cutting ties as you dread the potential consequences. The narcissist's ability to lash out or manipulate can make it feel safer to stay silent or compliant rather than risk their wrath. So, for a real life example, imagine that you're considering ending a relationship with a narcissist because the behavior is unbearable. However, every time you think about breaking up, you're flooded with fear. You've seen how the narcissist can threaten you and behave. You know they're capable of spreading lies, smearing, turning mutual friends and family against you, and even threatening legal action or public humiliation. One night after another argument, you decide to finally end things, but before you can, the narcissist has sensed your resolve and immediately reacts. If you leave me, I'll make sure everybody knows how selfish and cruel you are. I'll tell everybody you've been unfaithful, and you'll lose all your family and friends. Don't think for a second that I won't make your life a living hell. Their threats hit you really hard. The thought of losing your social circle, facing false accusations, and dealing with constant harassment fills you with dread. And you start to believe it's going to be safer to stay in the relationship to avoid the potential chaos and damage that could happen to your reputation and your life. And as a result, you back down from asserting your boundaries or cutting ties, feeling trapped by the fear of what the narcissist might do if you try to break free. How do you break this spell? Recognize the narcissist is using fear as a tool to control you and to keep you from leaving. Their threats are usually exaggerated or based in their desire to maintain power over you. And realize this: their threats are meant to scare me into submission, but I can be stronger than that manipulation. I've got the power to choose my life and protect my well-being. Yes, you can take threats seriously, but know that according to quantum law, so within, so without, if you do the inner work to be fearless and then plan strategically from that place, narcissists lose power over you and their attempts usually fall flat. And I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen that in my own life and in thousands of people's lives, because narcissists are energetic parasites. They get powered up by your fear. And when you take that away, they run out of energy. They don't have the mojo to attack you and retaliate. If you're afraid of retaliation, as well as doing the inner shift work, I highly recommend focusing in specifically on Module 8, because in NARP, Module 8 is about you becoming anti-fear, no matter what the narcissist tries to do. And then from that place, plan your exit carefully. Consider seeking support from trusted friends, family, or a network that can assist. And keep shifting and reminding yourself of your inner strength, that Source has got your back, and that you do have support systems in place. Surround yourself with people who understand the situation and can offer emotional, vibrational, and practical support. And you can affirm this: I've got the strength and support to stand up for myself and move forward, no matter what the narcissist tries to do. When you get to that place, you will find that they are actually pretty powerless. It all falls over for them. We have helped many people leave narcissists successfully and empowered ways since 2007 in our amazing NARP community. We also guide you on how to set boundaries and navigate the potential fallout with a narcissist, which is usually totally predictable, and it can be negated with loving support, empowering internal shifts, and specific actions to protect and defend yourself and that and which you love. You don't have to lose everything. You really don't when you leave. Okay, so now number 4, idolization of the narcissist. Even after enduring abuse, you may struggle to let go of the idolized version of the narcissist you once loved. This spell keeps you focused on the potential of this person, that charming, caring person that you hoped they can be, rather than the harsh reality of who they really are. This makes it, of course, difficult to accept the truth and move on, trapping you in a cycle of hope and disappointment. Maybe in the beginning, this person was everything that you ever wanted charming, attentive, loving, but then the manipulation, criticism, and emotional abuse became the norm. Despite this, you cling to the memory of those days, hoping that if you could just do something different, that version of them might return. And this causes you to downplay the abuse and convince yourself that their behavior is just a phase, or maybe it's your fault that they've changed. You focus on their potential, believing that with enough love and patience, they're going to return to being the ideal partner. And as a result, you stay in the relationship far longer than is healthy, holding on to the hope that they're going to change, even when they continue to hurt you. How do you break this spell? Accept that the idealized version of the narcissist is not who they are. Realize the person I fell in love with was a mirage created to manipulate me. I need to see the narcissist for who they really are, not who I wish they could be. Instead of fixating on how things used to be or the potential that you want to see in the future, focus on how the narcissist, this person, is teaching you right now. This shift in focus can help you see the situation more clearly and make decisions that are based on reality, not fantasy. Quantum law is absolute. Whatever's going on within you is what you're going to receive outside of you. So whatever I accept and participate in and make excuses for becomes a part of my chosen reality, and it's exactly what I'm going to continue to receive. There's no future potential in quantum law, only the reality and the power of choices now. So ask yourself, is this how I want to be treated? Is this what I deserve? Stop making excuses for the narcissist's behavior, attributing it to stress or a difficult past or your own shortcomings. Shift your mindset. I deserve a partner who respects and values me consistently, or a person, if this is not a narcissistic partner, but somebody else in your life. We all deserve people in our inner sanctum who value and respect us consistently, not just when it's convenient for them. I won't make excuses for unacceptable behavior anymore. So, our community and the guidance from our moderators, plus the weekly Q&A sessions with me, can really help you get this straight and let go of this person as a future unobtainable potential. We can help you face the truth, as we all had to do, and become your own whole self, calm, empowered, and self-generative. And for those of you who are working with NARP, Module 2 of NARP is very powerful to help you break this spell. All right, so number 5, isolation and alienation. Narcissists often isolate their victims from friends, family, and support networks, creating a sense of dependency on the narcissist. Over time, this isolation can lead to feelings of loneliness and the belief that nobody else will understand or support you. This spell keeps you tied to the narcissist's orbit, as the fear of being alone or misunderstood becomes a powerful force that prevents you from breaking free. So, as a real life example, imagine you're in a relationship with a narcissist who gradually discourages you from spending time with your friends and family. At first, they make subtle comments like, "Why do you need to see them so often? Don't you think we should be spending more time together?" And over time, these comments become more controlling. Your friends don't really care about you, and your family doesn't understand what we have. I'm the only one who truly gets you. As a result, you start seeing your friends and your family less and less until you barely interact with them at all. The narcissist becomes the center of your world, and you begin to feel like they're the only person who truly understands you. However, deep down, you feel lonely and disconnected, but you're afraid to reach out. You worry that your friends and family might not welcome you back or understand what you've been going through. The fear of loneliness keeps you stuck believing that staying with a narcissist is better than being completely alone. How do you break this spell? Understand that the narcissist intentionally isolated you to make you dependent on them. Recognizing this manipulation is the first step in breaking free from their control. Realize the distance between me and my loved ones was created by the narcissist, not because my network doesn't care about me. And even if it feels uncomfortable, reaching out to friends and family is crucial. Most likely, your loved ones are still there ready to support you once you reach out. Challenge the belief of loneliness. The fear of loneliness is absolutely magnified by narcissistic abuse and a narcissist's manipulation. Challenge this belief by reminding yourself that you're not alone and that many people care about you. Affirm, I'm not alone. There are people who care about me and will support me as I heal and rebuild my life. If many of your connections have been compromised by the narcissist, you may wish to seek a support network, a support community that understands and can help you feel accepted and understood. Our wonderful community offers such support, helping you rebuild connections safely, step by step, with other people again. Take small steps to reconnect with other human beings, knowing that each step brings you closer to breaking free from isolation. Okay, so number 6, the hope for closure. Narcissists rarely, if ever, provide closure, leaving you stuck in a loop of seeking answers, validation, or acknowledgement. This spell traps you in a cycle of waiting for an apology, an explanation, or some sign of accountability from the narcissist, which pretty much never comes. The hope for closure can keep you emotionally tied to a narcissist long after the relationship has ended, which prevents you from moving on. Here's a real life example. Imagine you've ended a tumultuous relationship with a narcissist, but you're still haunted by the way things ended. There was no resolution, no heartfelt conversation, and no acknowledgement of the pain they caused. Instead, the narcissist moved on quickly, seemingly unaffected, while you're left with unanswered questions. Why did they treat me that way? Didn't they care about me at all? How could they just move on without even a single apology? You start replaying the relationship in your mind, analyzing every conversation and interaction, hoping to find some clue or explanation that will give you closure. You may think, maybe if I reach out one more time, I can get some answers or at least an apology. This hope for closure keeps you tethered to the narcissist exactly where they want you, even as you know deep down that they are unlikely to ever give you the validation or the apology you crave. You find yourself checking their social media, wondering what they're thinking, or even considering contacting them, despite knowing it will reopen old wounds. How to break this spell? Accept that non-closure from a narcissist is a reflection of their nature and how they manipulate and control you. It's not about your worth. Closure is something that, to heal for real, you need to create for yourself. Realize the narcissist may never provide the closure I seek, but I can choose to close this chapter on my own terms. You don't need the narcissist's validation to know that your feelings and experiences are valid and real. Instead, understand that your healing and evolution from your wounds are an incredible gift into your future beyond this person and narcissistic abuse, regardless of what they do or don't do. And yes, you're going to have to work for them, but that's the truth. So affirm this: my energy is better spent on my healing and my growth than on waiting for something that's not going to come. Most people do require help with closure and the release and the freedom from abuse, and it takes growth and effort. We passionately help you facilitate this in our NARP community. NARP Module 4 and 5 are specifically created to help you achieve closure in accelerated timeframes. And then we have our last hidden reason, which is number 7, emotional addiction. And this is probably the most powerful spell of all. Even after a relationship with a narcissist ends, the emotional highs and lows created by their manipulative behavior cause trauma bonding. And this bond is deeply rooted in the cycle of abuse, where periods of cruelty are followed by moments of kindness or love, which causes intense emotional fluctuations that hook you. This addiction keeps you trapped, longing for the narcissist's approval or attention, and means that you can replay memories and be drawn back into the drama, even though you know it doesn't make sense. So, as a real life example, imagine being in a relationship where the narcissist is constantly belittling and demeaning you. You feel worthless, unloved, and desperate for any sign of affection. And then suddenly, after days of weeks of this emotional torture or silent treatment, the narcissist switches gears and they're kind, attentive, and affectionate. They might shower you with love and the attention that you've craved, and the relief and the joy that you feel are overwhelming. It's as if all of the pain that you've endured has been worth it for this level of connection, which wasn't real, by the way. There was an agenda attached to it, so that the narcissist could get access to what they wanted. But soon enough, the cycle starts again. The narcissist returns to their cruel and manipulative ways, leaving you in despair. Yet, despite knowing the pain they cause, you find yourself longing for those fleeting moments of kindness. You make excuses to contact them. You replay the memories of the good times and convince yourself that maybe if I just did something differently, I can bring back that loving version of them. This emotional roller coaster creates a powerful addiction. It's like Stockholm syndrome, where the victim develops an emotional attachment to a captor because there's extreme rushes of cortisol during stress and dopamine during moments of relief that create a literal physiological chemical dependency. That's the addiction, making it incredibly difficult to break free. So, how to break this spell? Acknowledge the addiction, admit to yourself that you're hooked on the narcissist's emotional highs and lows. That's your first step to recovery. Realize this isn't just a difficult relationship. I'm actually addicted to this emotional roller coaster and it's keeping me trapped. And understand that this is trauma bonding, which gives you insight into how the narcissist's cycle of abuse has created a chemical dependency in you. And recognize this isn't love, it's an addiction. I need to break. And just like any addiction, you need to go no contact with the source of the addiction and detox yourself of the inner urges. And this means absolutely going no contact or establishing firm boundaries to remove the source of your emotional addiction, which is the narcissist. And of course, it's going to feel unbearable at first, but it's a necessary, vital step towards your healing. And then when you do that, when you create that space from the source of your addiction, turn inwards with inner healing to shift out the emotional urges and let them go. When you do this, you're going to be stunned at how quickly you start to rewire yourself from the narcissistic hooks into your own calm, your own inner solidness, and your own inner strength. The relief of that is indescribable. Breaking an emotional addiction to a narcissist is incredibly challenging if you're trying to do it logically or with information. It's just not possible that way. It's possible with the inner work because this is a chemical issue in your inner being. It's not logical. It's a brain-body connection that cannot just be addressed through the logical brain. It requires help with systems that know how to address the addiction deep in your being. And usually talk therapy is completely ineffective for this. It doesn't go deep enough. In the NARP program, we provide the guidance and the tools that are needed to break free from emotional addiction. Okay, so in conclusion, breaking free from a narcissist spell is a profound act of self-love and self-empowerment. So whether you're overcoming self-doubt, fear, isolation, longing for closure, or the terrible addictive pulls, the key lies in reclaiming your power and facing the truth and trusting in your own strength and wisdom and your own inner healing. It may be challenging, but by recognizing certain truths about healing for real from the inside in accelerated time frames, connecting with a spiritual network and focusing on that growth, you can start to move forward quickly and gain confidence and resilience. And remember, your healing and your peace of mind are within your control. You deserve a life free from the emotional turmoil and manipulations of a narcissist. And with the right support and determination, you can achieve this level of freedom and break free into living a fulfilling, authentic life, which is a thrive life. Thrive on. So I hope that today's information has deeply resonated with you and given you some actionable steps in the Thriver method, which is not just all about information and researching narcissists, so that you actually can take back your power and start to heal. And I hope I've helped you with that. So please leave your comments or your questions below, and I'm going to do my best to respond to them. And if you enjoyed this talk, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you never miss an update. And share this Thriver talk with somebody who you love who might be stuck in the throes of a narcissist. And I just want to say, we love having you as a part of our thriving community. Thank you for being here. And keep healing, keep smiling, and keep thriving, because there's actually nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.